Hello, we are the Sensible Seahorses, and our project is called HilarityAI, an AI that is specifically designed to generate jokes. The team that made this consists of me, Marian, Rhodes, and Revanth. So, for the dataset, our decision entails extracting a substantial amount of data from ChatGPT and storing it into a file. We utilized a database consisting of one-liner dad jokes we obtained from a website called I Can Has Dad Jokes to further our project. One note, some of the jokes that we had gathered were too inappropriate. So we decided to make our own data set from ChatGPT. So for the tech stack, for backend, we used Python, Pandas, NLTK, and Spacey. For API, we just used Flask. And for front end, we used HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap.
So here is part of our data set. As you can see, we combined 3 data frames. 2 of them from the internet, one of them we made with ChatGPT, and there are some examples of jokes that are in the data set. For pre-processing, we handled the data by tokenizing it further. We did stop words and punctuation, and we removed jokes that were 90% similar to each other with Spacey. And using the Pandas library, we merged all the data frames into our big data set after pre-processing. We used the GPT-2 model because of its language modeling capabilities, and it can capture complex patterns, and it can contribute to the production of stuff that's more natural and engaging. And it can be creative and diverse with its responses and what it generates. It can also understand context pretty well, and it can generate punchline or twists. And it is already pre-trained on large data sets, which is beneficial for creating jokes that are more general and can be with more genres. And it's very fine-tunable. For model training, we used a Python class that was specifically designed for loading and managing our data set, and it provides functionality to load the data set from a specified file path and perform various operations on it. And we can experiment by adjusting the learning rate and number of epochs to observe the resulting outcomes. And as you can see at the start, around epoch 0 to 23, the loss is really high at around 300. And then at epoch like 500, you can see that's around 82. And here are some sample outputs that we got. On the left, you can see the input, and on the right, you can see the generated text that continued it. A lot of them, I would say this is like, I've seen some ones that actually made sense, but I'd say a lot of these, they have the structure correctly, they just don't have the context or it doesn't make the greatest amount of sense. But for one example that sort of keeps, okay, wait. Number 13, how do you catch a snot in a hole full of water? You need a well. Like, it keeps it in the genre of like liquids, I guess. Okay, next one. And then Revanth's gonna do the project demo.
All right, so for our website, this is the main screen. The first screen is go straight to our AI. So you enter a joke prompt here, and you click generate joke, and it will generate a joke right here. And if you find that your joke is inappropriate, you can click the flag as inappropriate joke button down here, and we'll flag it as inappropriate, which will help to reduce the amount of inappropriate jokes generated. All right, so in the about section, we have a little bit about our project, how it came to be. And then down here, we have our main slogan, which is unleash the laughter of HilarityAI. your sidekick in the comedy world off. And then here we have a contact form with the where you put your name and your email address, and then you can send us a message. But if you find anything like wrong about your about our website, or you want to add something and stuff like that. And then we have our meet the team page, and on the left side we have the AI Camp logo. So if you click this, it'll take you to the home page of AI Camp, and right next to that is the Hugging Face logo, which will take you to our project on Hugging Face. So right now, if you want to enter any prompts into the chat, I can take a few and put them into our AI. All right, so
One
Yeah.
quick thing, one thing you're going to want to do, you can't just say like joke about this. You have to like kind of start it out with like what a start of the joke would be. If in, you know, for example, like joke about Batman, you could say, what did Batman? And then you could just, that's the prompt, and then it'll generate after that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, so sometimes it works pretty good, and like usually it has a decent structure, but you might notice that it's not like very funny most of the time, because it's really hard for AI to understand like plot twists and that type of stuff. So it's really hard for it to funny things. So I'll take a few more and put them in. Yeah, so I mean, as you can see on this one, it completes the joke, but it isn't like really like that funny, but it is able to complete the joke. So I'm gonna go back to presentation now. All right, so for future expansion, we hope to increase the data set size that we train it on, which will help it make more funny jokes and more comedic jokes. And we also hope to categorize the jokes based on like the type of joke it is, like dad joke or yeah, and that type of thing. And then we hope to have sentiment analysis, which will determine if the joke has a positive connotation, negative connotation, or neutral connotation. And then we want to eventually create a mobile application so that you can use our AI on the move. And then we also want to have user generated content, which will allow the user to give us jokes, and we'll submit that into our data set and train the AI on that. And then a few roadblocks that we hit were sensitive and offensive content, because it was really hard to find a big data set of jokes which had appropriate content. And it was also really hard to make sure that our AI didn't generate inappropriate content for a joke prompt. And then ambiguity and context. So as I said, AI it often doesn't understand like wordplay, puns, or plot twists, which is why it's really hard to train a large language model on a certain set of data and have it actually be funny. And then during our website design, we did face a few problems with moving everything and making sure it looked really good. And then for applications, we hope that it entertains you because our jokes are a really popular form of entertainment. And we wanted to also evaluate AI on its joke generating ability to see how, which is basically because we want to see how well AI is able to understand jokes. And then we hope that it has good creative writing assistance. So for like comedians to, in case they have writer's block or something, they can use this to generate new ideas and new jokes. And then for educational purposes, because this could be a fun way for an educator to teach their students about linguistics and like phonetics, semantics, or pragmatics in a fun way. All right, so that's it. And we hope that you use our joke generator.